Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. From Solomon Scott Selections here for Saturday, November 5th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss in basketball. We had the Wizards -2 at -107 on PointsBet. Line closed at 3. That was the good news. The problem was the Wizards completely got embarrassed on their home floor and lost by 42 points to the Nets with no Kyrie Irving, no Ben Simmons, and no Seth Curry. Easily the most embarrassing performance by any team so far this season, and it's pretty tough to beat. But Washington, I can't even describe what the hell that performance was. That was just embarrassing from start to finish. I know it was a 2-point game with a couple minutes left in the first half. Then the Nets closed the half on a 10-0 run, and the game was over after that. But really, just a complete no-show from the Wizards. I can guarantee you that I'm never going to bet on the Wizards for the rest of the season. That team not only is bad, but they're also just extremely dumb. A lot of low basketball IQ plays, a lot of pretty underwhelming players, and yeah, unfortunately, I thought the Nets would roll over without Kyrie. That was not the case, and the Nets really took it to them as they won comfortably. 42 points, though. That's a little bit crazy on your home floor. Either way, picked up a loss, and we'll look for a bounce back winner here on Saturday. But for today's play of the day, going to pivot to the baseball card. We do have a World Series game, potentially the last game of the season, as the Astros look to close out the series in 6. And for this matchup, we're going to actually take a player prop in this one. We're going to take a hits prop. We're going to take a pretty decent plus money play. It's going to be Rhys Hoskins, no hits at plus 145 on DraftKings. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like Hoskins to now record a hit in this game. First reason, the last 2 games, Hoskins has been awful. 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts. He had all 4 strikeouts last game, actually. So he went 0 for 5 with the Golden Sombrero in Game 5. And it's not exactly a surprise because Hoskins has been a boomer bust player, and it's mostly been bust for the last month and change in the postseason so far. He has 11 hits in 69 plate appearances, which is equivalent to 1 hit in every 6.3 plate appearances. I think we can all agree that most baseball games probably have each batter have 4 plate appearances, give or take. So I'll just work with that. But 1 out of every 6.3 plate appearances are hits in the postseason. Since the start of October, he has 12 total hits in 90 plate appearances, which is equivalent to 1 hit in every 7.5 plate appearances. And he's faced Houston 49 times in his career, and he has not recorded many hits. He has 5 hits in 49 career plate appearances against Houston's active pitchers, which is equivalent to 1 hit in every 9.8 plate appearances. He also has 1 career hit in 5 plate appearances against Framber Valdez, who will be starting in this game. Now, I know Hoskins has decent numbers against lefties, hasn't really applied lately because, with the exception of a little bit of a hot streak there in the middle of that Padres series, he's been pretty awful in the playoffs. And I do think you're going to end up seeing a lot of value here because Hoskins is a boomer bust player. I'm not going to compare him totally to Joey Gallo because Hoskins can actually make contact occasionally with the ball, but it's the same idea. You're going to be looking at a plus 145 prop for a guy who really has issues putting the ball in play. And Valdez has been Houston's best pitcher, at least starter, for the postseason. We know how good he was in the Yankee series, how good he was in his first start against the Phillies in Game 2, I believe, where he was so good they thought he was cheating. Now, whether or not he was, I don't know. But the point is, I do think Valdez, who's been dialed in all postseason long, should look sharp against Hoskins for the first 2 or 3 at bats. He could also work a walk. That's no problem at all. Walks, of course, don't count towards this prop. But you're looking at Hoskins at a very nice plus price here to do nothing like he has done for the last 2 games. I understand if you want to make an argument that he's still a very impactful player for Philly, and I agree because he has a lot of power. The issue is, once again, he doesn't hit the contact. And I do think if you're going to end up seeing Houston, who excels in striking out batters, and you're facing off against a strikeout heavy batter, I do think this number is way too high. I know Caesars had the same exact prop at plus 130. I think it should be closer to plus 130, plus 120. But plus 145 seems like a hell of a deal. And I'm going to take it as a pure value play, not to mention the fact that I actually like Hoskins' chances of going 0 for 4 in this matchup. But either way, you also could talk about the fact that Hoskins is not exactly a great runner. There is maybe a chance late in the game, if he does get on base via walk or maybe a fielder's choice, does he get pitch run for? Maybe. It's a possibility, but I do think you could end up seeing a couple of ways for this to cash. You could walk a couple times perhaps, but at the end of the day, you're going to give me a very nice plus price in what could be the last game of the season. I'm going to take it. I know the first game of the season, or the first bet we had in baseball, we had Joey Gallo, no hit, and that ended up cashing. So it would be kind of cool if we ended up winning the final game of the season, similarly to the way that we won the first game of the season. But either way, I like the price too much, and I'm going to take it. So play that once again here for Saturday, November 5th is going to be on Rhys Hoskins, no hits at plus 145 on DraftKings. Bye, everyone.